on a shuttle to Starbase 23, transport back to Earth. I can hear Admiral Brooks now telling me how I've disgraced Starfleet Medical. Then, a leisurely day and a half before the formal inquiry begins and my career ends.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo.
Jeff and I are veteran Trekkies, and Dory is a rookie Trekkie, and we are taking her on her first journey through Star Trek: The Next Generation. Today we're discussing the Season 6 episode, Suspicions. Original air date is May 8th, 1993, and we are still in air conditioning mode here, in case you hear that in the background. Apologies. It is too hot to turn off, though. As always, we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Okay. You guys, what a ride. Okay. So Dr. C enters her quarters and she starts taking her shoes off when someone is at her door. She's like, fine, whatever, come in. It's Guinan.
Yeah.
I was thrilled.
Yeah,
So
I thought
I'm
you would be happy.
Yeah, okay. So then Guinan comes in. She's like, I need a doctor. Geordi beat her straight sets today, and she thinks she has tennis elbow. And Dr. C's like, okay, well, like, go to sickbay. The other doctor's, like, on call there. But Guinan's like, no, I want to see you. And I just wrote, she better be joking. Because if she, like, really wants to be treated by Dr. C right now on her, like, off hours, that, like, changes what I think of Guinan. Thankfully. Man,
No.
I'm happy to say, still big Guinan fan. But she had me there for a moment.
Yeah.
She really did. Because she went long game. Anyways, okay,
Yeah,
we'll get to
like,
it.
this seems very inconsiderate for Guinan.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. So
They had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
Yeah, so Dr. C's like, yep, well, I'm not a doctor on the Enterprise anymore. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And cue the credits.
Yeah.
Honestly,
okay,
pretty
so-
effective teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez. I was like, how dare everything. Okay, so then Dr. C explains she's like, is she packing up? Yeah. So Dr. C says, 3 days on a shuttle to Starbase 23, a transport back to Earth. I can hear Admiral Brooks now telling me how I've disgraced Starfleet Medical, then a leisurely day and a half before the formal inquiry begins and my career ends. And my first thought was, don't worry, Dr. C, I'm sure Admiral Brooks is probably crooked. So
Fair point.
as all admirals are in Starfleet. And then Guinan goes, Beverly, my elbow. And I was like, Guinan, you've got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me, man. Like, what is going on? So, okay, Dr. C is wearing a dark green, like, velvety long sleeve under a kind of a velvety brown dress. Very earth tones. Mm-hmm. I'm on board.
Yeah, it's kind of like 90s, like,
It's
90s high school, honestly.
Yeah, it's cute. Listen, it's cute. And
It's like
Guinan
those grungy earth tones.
Guinan says, I've never been to a formal inquiry. And Dr. C says, well, I'll see if I can arrange one for you. All you have to do is disobey orders, violate medical ethics, and cause an interstellar incident. They're like, oh boy. And then Dr. C goes, it's all started when those scientists came aboard. And I just wrote, classic scientists.
I kind of cringed a little bit when she was like, it all started when, and then there's like a fucking fade to it, and I'm like, oh, for God's sakes.
I love where the limits of cheesiness are for you, Jeff.
So
Very wild.
So
all over
here's
the
the thing.
place.
Here's the thing. This episode was meant to be cheesier than it was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of this episode.
I wish the episode had committed to being cheesier. For the record,
That's fair.
the background idea of this episode is, this is according to the writer, okay? So, first, they wrote a murder mystery, okay? Then they had a side plot about an allegory to pollution in the ozone that had to do with the warp drive, okay? They were told to drop that, okay? And then they were told to make the story about Worf. So they made it about Worf. Then they were told to drop the weird noir flashbacks that they had in the episode because they decided to go with a noir approach for some reason. Then they were told to insert Beverly and get rid of Worf. The episode has gone all over the place.
But noir would fit perfectly.
It would.
With this
That's
episode.
why I'm saying I wish the episode had committed to it. But instead, there's a couple of inklings of it here or there, and other than that, it's just dropped.
I can see that. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree in the sense that they should have like really leaned in.
Yeah.
Because it would have been more fun. But still, I mean, I suppose like stakes were very high.
Like, apparently the writer got special permission. The writer apparently got special permission when they came up with the initial "Let's Do a Noir" story in Star Trek from Michael Piller. Begrudging permission, but permission anyway, to do all of the cheesiness that comes with noir. Everything from, like, it all started when, to, like, fade-ins, to moments of black and white. They were going to do it all. And they just dropped all but, like, the tiniest little mentions of it.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
I would have loved it. I would have truly, like, I would have lost my mind.
I bet.
Okay. So, but it actually didn't start when the scientists came on board. It started earlier than that, when Dr. C got curious. So Dr. C went to the Altine conference. She heard about a new subspace technology developed by a Ferengi. Dr. Rega. No,
Yes.
Rega.
Yeah.
Yeah. His invention was based on metaphasic
fields,
but his
is what they call it.
Metaphasic field,
Which sounds a lot like metaphysic, but you know, they just use the word meta to make it sound more meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his methodology was completely orthodox. Other people were not into it, but Dr. C was into it. So she gathered a bunch of scientists in hope of being a facilitator by bringing the scientists from all over to the Enterprise to hear his ideas, which she referred to as a scientific diplomat. Okay, but only 4 were actually interested in hearing about the invention, not intervention. That's different. All right, so we got 5 people. We got Kurak. Mm-hmm. She is a Klingon warp field specialist. And according to Dr. C, always seemed a little defensive. Then we got Dr. Tapan, who's Vulcan, legend in the field of subspace morphology. And she's the director of the Vulcan Science Academy for 15 years. Then we got her husband, Dr. Christopher. He is like some kind of subspace theoretician? I don't know.
Yeah, he's also a subspace scientist, but like isn't as like highly acclaimed as any of the other people there.
Yeah. Then we got Joe Brill. He's
Takaran.
Yeah. Takaran?
Yeah.
And
Joe
he's
Brill.
got truly some of the wildest character design I think we've seen in a long time. Mm-hmm. This was something.
Yeah, it's a little weird that his outfit matches his skin.
Yeah, it was a look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes humans do that too.
Yeah,
like
that's true. But
close
they
to
had an
skin tone.
opportunity to not do it, and they didn't.
And then we have Dr. Rega, the Ferengi scientist. Mm-hmm. So,
for the record, this is the first time that we've seen a Ferengi on TNG post DS9 now, and it's reflecting the more DS9 development of the Ferengi. Dory, I know the Ferengi fucking suck in TNG. This is supposed to be a representation of how they're changed.
This guy seemed fine.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a representation of how they're changed in DS9. Now, this is probably a little more forward-thinking than still a lot of Ferengi on DS9 are, but it's I think it was pretty successful.
Yeah, they're like it's like they're actually characters now and not just like, you know, like
caricatures.
Yeah.
You can thank actor Armin Shimmerman for that. He does a lot of he plays a long-standing Ferengi who's a main character on DS9, and he ended up doing a lot to contributing towards like what they were going to do to develop them into a race that people took seriously.
Yeah, they still call women females and shit like that. Like,
Females?
But they come up with like
Yeah.
actual reasons within their society for it, and actually like coming up with like lore that supports all of it, and then they fucking criticize it all later, which is great.
yeah, they're on in the universe of the show, their species is not very like not very PC, I would say.
Well, listen, baby steps, I guess.
Yeah, baby steps, but they feel more like actual characters. You like, they're like, oh, I hate this guy, as opposed to like, oh, I hate the concept of this existing. It's more like they're like, I don't know how to describe it other than like they still have like shitty opinions and all that stuff, but it's easier to deal with. It's like there's actually like, you know, I hesitate to say logic, but like I wouldn't say.
I it's okay. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think I know what
Never
you're getting
mind.
at here.
My brain is freezing up, so let's just, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Rega's like, okay, I need help to develop my metaphasic shield, and he's willing to grant exclusive rights to whoever provides the necessary resource. I did have to mention, Dr. Japan is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to mention it, but I do mention it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kurak is not sold that the shield would work, but Dr. Rega's like, listen, I did test myself, and it worked. And she's like, okay. It worked, but she's like, nope, that really means nothing to me.
She's like, I don't trust that you're telling the truth, basically.
Yeah. So Dr. Rega, he outfitted one of the Enterprise shuttles with the metaphasic shield. He will take it into the corona of a star of Vaton? It doesn't really matter. Super dense corona. The shuttle would be subjected to particularly intense radiation. But Christopher and Dr. Japan are like, I don't know, maybe like drive it into a less intense star.
Yeah. Just
putting that out there. I don't know. And Kurak is also like, hey, maybe we also get someone impartial to fly the shuttle. Joe Brill volunteers, and I just immediately wrote, he gonna die.
This brings me to my ginormous, huge gripe with this episode, which is I enjoy the episode. I think it's fun, but it pisses me off to no end that this is a manned mission for some reason. That they're not testing out the shield with like an unoccupied shuttle that's like piloted remotely or anything like that.
Yep.
Once again,
Yeah,
like,
that is the first thing I wrote down on this. It's why is the shuttle not piloted by remote?
Safety precautions.
Why is there no autopilot?
We don't know her. Like,
they have. This is a show that they yeah, exactly. They don't know safety.
Yeah.
They never met. They have never been introduced.
There's also
an alternate universe in which safety wasn't invented.
Yeah, there's also they don't prepare.
Safety wasn't invented.
They don't prepare any contingencies for if something goes wrong.
Of course, classic TNG.
This is also
they don't have
a universe in which neither fuses, circuit breakers, or seatbelts have been invented. So
yeah, exactly.
Classic.
It just like it kind of. I'll be honest, it ruins my enjoyment of the whole episode because I'm just thinking like, none of this had to have happened if they just used like a remote controlled shuttle. Like to
just like the barest amount of common sense, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Joe Brill volunteers. He spent years studying solar plasma reactions, and he's super into the idea of penetrating a star's corona. Okay, listen.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah. Everyone is very quickly on board for Joe Brill driving the shuttle.
Yeah.
Because
for
they
a group
hate
of
him and want him dead.
scientists. For a group of scientists, you guys are all fucking morons.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Rega's like thankful for Dr. C for getting all this organized. People don't really take him seriously. Yeah, that's totally valid. And Dr. C's like, oh, it's cool. You did something cool, and other people are kind of jelly. So, especially Japan, she's super jelly. But Reiga's not really interested in competition, just wants like acknowledgement and respect as a scientist. Again, very fair.
It's interesting that that he goes or he breaks the mold of race stereotypes within Star Trek so much, and yet all of the other characters who are brought on the ship do the exact opposite, and just her entire
lean into their
investigation.
other stuff.
Yeah, her entire investigation is basically just confirming that racial profiling is good.
Oh boy. So, all right, here we go. Shuttle has launched. Godspeed, Jobril. Thoughts and prayers. They did it, Joe. He's flying through a star. And like he's about to die. There we go. He's breathing heavily. And Data's like, oh, increased level of baryon particles in the cabin. Uh-oh, this shouldn't be happening. They can't beam him out.
It's weird that nobody panics earlier. They're just watching him die. Like,
I thought he was,
well, that's not
it was
good.
kind of like weird that, he was like, sounds like he was like struggling to breathe for quite a while. And everyone's like, you okay there, man?
Yeah.
You okay? You okay?
Yeah, you need like a chill pill or something.
So like this should not be happening. They can't beam him out as the solar radiation is interfering. This guy, he's like can't breathe. He's losing consciousness. But Picard is like, "Hey, my guy, can you drive out of the star though?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and this is another
calm
thing. It's
down,
like
man.
they didn't prepare a way to maybe take over, like remotely.
They prepared nothing.
Yeah,
all
or
they did was
no one thought of a tractor beam to drag him out of the like.
They think of that later. They think of a tractor beam later,
Yeah.
but that's for something else. But yeah, they truly were just like, all right, he outfitted the shuttle, and then they're like, who's gonna go?
yeah,
and
you're
they're like,
shit out of
Jobril,
luck.
all right. And then they just walked him to the shuttle, and they went. This happened in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened in between. So Jobril, he somehow makes his way out of the star. Thanks for the encouragement, Picard. And they are able to beam him directly to sickbay. And Dr. C tries to save him, and his last words, which I thought would be significant, but were not, I saw the sun.
Yeah.
Then rip, I guess.
He opened up his eyes and saw the sun.
I mean, I get what he was saying, but all I could think of was like, yeah, everyone does, Jobril. Everyone sees the sun.
Like, congratulations, you just wasted your last words on bullshit.
Yeah.
I'd say hope you feel real good about yourself, but you're dead, so you're not going to feel much at the moment. Okay, so Dr. C says Jobril's body was like super weird, and she's seen some shit. There's like an equal distribution of his organs, and that's like interesting to her, and whatever happened to him must have happened at a cellular level, because she's like, oh, with all of like his organs the way they are, he should have been like more resistant to shit. I mean, I personally, as I am not a scientist, I don't know how that makes one more resistant to things or stronger if your organs are equal, or proportioned to each other in the body cavity, if you will.
Well, Dory,
listen,
I actually have a surprise for you.
You do have an answer.
The writer didn't know either, because they were making that up. They're not a doctor.
My best.
I mean, Dr. C is a doctor, but
she plays one on TV.
My best guess, my best justification is that, like, okay, maybe if one organ isn't like super duper important compared to the other organs, then like damage to one organ like can't necessarily fuck you up, like because humans have like organs that it's like if you get shot through it, it's like not the worst deal, and we have other organs that are it's like, well, you're instantly dead. So it sounds like their physiology is like they don't have that, so it doesn't matter. Like they don't have like the, like, if one organ is damaged, it's not game over.
Yeah,
that's my best justification.
Okay, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I doubt they were thinking of that, but
yeah, listen. So, okay, yeah, something caused massive system-wide failure inside his body. The tissue sample shows that cellular decay is extremely low, which is fishy. Okay, so then Picard comes in. He's like, you've been at this for hours. You might think more clearly if you got a good night's sleep. And Dr. C says, I can't sleep. I want to find out what killed him. I owe that to Dr. Rega. And Picard says, are you doing it for Dr. Rega or yourself? And Dr. C says, what do you mean? When Picard says, you're the loneliest person in the world right now. No one can say anything. No one can do anything that will help. And you think that it will never go away, and you're right. It won't. But you can get used to it. I know it doesn't feel like that now, but you can. I'm not going to lie. That
it's a good
speech
line.
was nonsense.
Yeah.
No,
It's a
I
good
like
line, but it's also nonsense.
Yeah.
I liked it. That's why I wrote it down, but it's still nonsense.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so then Geordi and Data are also, they're determined to figure out what went wrong with the shuttle because something's going on. But then, of course, I just wrote murder. Murder.
Yeah.
A murder most foul.
There's no malfunctions on the ship. And I wrote murder just in capital letters and exclamation marks so many times in this, in my notes. I was psyched for a murder. Whodunit. Okay, so then I'm not psyched for murder. I just feel like I should clarify. I'm not like looking for murder, but like I like a whodunit. I love a mystery. So
And if someone has to die, then that's that's the price you pay.
That's okay.
Hey, at least they're just like a passing character that I never would have had to see again anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Geordi found microcrystalline damage to the hull, which confirms that the shield was breached by a burst of baryonic radiation. Rega is understandably pissed, and Dr. C tells the scientists that they are calling it a day, and if Rega can fix whatever went wrong, maybe they'll try again. But Rega asks her for more investigation time, and Dr. Christopher goes, but that won't bring back Joe Brill, will it? Like, listen, this couple is so freaking salty. It is like...
Yeah, I kind of hate them.
Yeah, no, me too. Like, should I have brought French fries to this freaking meeting? Holy crap.
So Dory, I don't know if you've noticed, but we haven't seen very many Vulcans on TNG yet. They kind of avoided using them, but the very few of them that we have seen have all been kind of snarky and sarcastic, which is weird.
This one was just mean.
Yeah, and it's weird because, like, the reputation of Vulcans is one thing that we're continually told throughout Star Trek, and yet every time we see them, they're dicks.
Yeah.
They're just absolute fucking dicks. Like, at one point, she's looking at another character. I can't remember who it is she's looking at them. She's side-eyeing him and, like, insulting him at the same time. I think it was Dr. Rega.
Probably.
And like, just the side eye that she's giving him is like, wow, like, I thought you were supposed to be like, no emotions. What's going on? And instead you're like, that's right. Snap, snap, snap.
Snap, snap, snap. This was like wild. So yeah, Dr. Griffer was like, but that won't bring back Joe Brill, will it? And then Japan goes, I do not believe the shield will even work. Its very concept is flawed. And then she's just like,
that's the line.
Staring.
That's the side eye that she's giving him.
Yeah, they're just all staring. And then I actually wrote in my notes to echo what you guys just said. Why they gotta be such dicks?
Yeah.
But Dr. C's like, I admire his tenacity. I hope he does prove himself. Just kidding. He's fucking dead. Rip to Dr. Rega.
They don't even like do any build up to that. He's just dead in the next scene.
Yeah, she's like, that was the last time I saw him. Look, he's dead, guys. Everyone, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's DEAD dead.
Like, I felt like that was cheap.
Yeah, it was on kind of a bummer. So they went to science. Everyone ran to Science Lab 4 when the ship sensors registered a sizable plasma surge there. And they find Rega has a plasma infuser in his hand. It's been completely discharged. That's what killed him. But Worf is like, maybe he was just so bummed about his failure that he took his own life. And Dr. C's like, Or maybe is that what they want us to think?
Ooh, yeah.
Like Dr. C immediately was on the murder train. I loved it.
If this were in black and white and being delivered the same way as a noir, this shit would land so well. But instead, it's just here in this episode that's taking itself seriously, and it
Here's
doesn't
the thing,
work.
though. I legit watched this episode beginning to end in one sitting, which is truly a fucking miracle for me because I wanted to know how it ended. This episode got me. I agree that 100%, Jeff, that like I feel like they should have gone harder. There was like so many opportunities, but I did still enjoy this episode. So I love when Dr. C goes rogue, even though I don't agree with some of the shit she does in this episode.
Yeah.
And they do not there's some shit that they do not actually I feel like conclude, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so Dr. C is like sure that
Wait until I tell you what the Ferengi death ritual actually is. It's pretty great.
So Dr. C is like sure he did not kill himself. Of course, I again wrote murder.
Yeah.
Dr. C goes to see Picard, and basically, like, this whole situation seems fishy to her, like, but when she does the autopsy, she'll know more. But then Picard's like, actually, about that, there will be no autopsy. The family wants the body to just, like, not be touched because they want to perform the Ferengi death ritual. Okay, that's fair. I mean,
Dory,
there is no.
You need to know.
Is there
right
none?
now,
I don't think
The
they've
Ferengi
established
death
it at
ritual.
this point, though. I don't know.
They haven't it, but I would like
Okay.
to tell her
Okay,
anyway.
tell me.
Dory, the Ferengi death ritual is that they vacuum desecrate your remains and sell them on the open market.
No.
Yeah. They
Yep.
like they.
So they didn't want her to touch him because of like
Yeah.
value,
It has to be pure for them to sell it, otherwise it's not worth anything.
I don't think
market value. They needed her not to touch him for market value.
Yeah.
Yes.
my God.
Here's the thing. They haven't established that in this episode. They establish it
haven't.
later in DS9.
That's something they establish in like
God.
I think it's like 2 or 3 seasons of DS9.
Yeah.
They
Also,
God, that's
I
morbid.
think they sort of. From what I remember, they don't mention anything about the body having to be like pure or whatever. I
No, but it's part of the logic behind it. It's like, don't touch it, leave the body as it is. We have to do this with it so that it retains value.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking of it that way. I think they were just thinking of it as like there's lots of different cultural practices where it's like you can't touch the body or the body has to be whole going into the ground. I think
I didn't say they were thinking about it that way. I know.
oh,
that they haven't come up with
you
that
mean like
in
that's
canon
that's
at
the
this point.
implied logic. Okay, yeah.
This is all retrospective.
Yeah, okay. So one bone I have to pick with this is that like I mean, they wouldn't have been thinking about this then, but like I'm thinking about it now, is that it's such a trope for like some kind of cultural practice to quote get in the way. And so they make like these other cultures look unreasonable. When like a lot of the cultures that have things like that, like in terms of like strict like burial practices and stuff, they're reasonable people, and a lot of them have exceptions for suspicious death. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I find it annoying, like, that trope nowadays, to be like, oh, if only these people didn't have their backwards culture getting in our way, you know?
Yeah, Star Trek uses it a lot
Yeah.
in particular, too.
Yeah, so now Dr. C has to find other evidence to prove murder. Her assistant, Alyssa, who I must give name credit to.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't learn her name till later, but it's important that I mention her name.
She's been mentioned in
Alyssa?
the background, I think, a couple times.
But I didn't know
she's
her
had a few
name
lines
until
up until
this
this point.
episode.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
her name till this episode, and now that I know her name, 'twill be used.
Yeah.
Do you
Alyssa
remember her
is.
last name? Did they say her last name?
They didn't say it, but I wrote it down because I looked it up on IMDb.
Yeah, it's Ogawa.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote it down later in my notes. But because at this point in my notes, I just wrote nurse/assistant.
Yeah,
I didn't know what her role was. Now
But-
I know she's a nurse.
Okay.
But yeah, just letting you know that this is a character that's been floating around. So they.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they
No, I
used,
know. I
like,
just
someone
didn't know
that's
her
actual
name.
there. Oh yeah. No,
But she,
no.
I didn't know her name, but also she hadn't done like a whole lot up until this point.
Yeah.
Alyssa fucking comes through, man.
Yeah.
Alyssa, MVP.
No, I was just
Okay.
more saying it to give credit to Star Trek. It's like, oh, you utilized a character that's kind of been around, so we care.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, Alyssa's like, oh, but like didn't Dr. Rega just like die from a plasma charge? And then I first wrote, maybe she's in on it. No, she's not. She's the best. Okay, so now we got the suspects, the scientists. And I just love Dr. C just fully goes rogue. She is just like, who had something to gain from Dr. Rega's death? And I wrote, the logical option is that it's obviously the married couple, as they were shady as fuck. But that seems too easy, so it's probably not them. So, oh yeah, so she goes to see them, and Tapan is not very convincing of like not being bothered because, oh, she's like, oh, what the fuck do I care? It didn't work. That doesn't like do anything to my research. Like, ma'am, that doesn't. You're bothered.
Yeah.
Don't fucking pretend. You are pressed.
They're so
Yeah.
defensive about it.
You are like a button. You're pressed.
Especially the husband is like really. I mean,
He's such a dick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're pretty. Oh my god, he also comes down pretty. He's like, oh, all the unpleasantness, because Dr. C's like, you guys notice anything fucking weird going on? And they're like, how dare you? And Dr. C's like, no, listen, guys, I'm just like keeping you in on this, and like anything fucking weird.
And
Like,
it's
oh
like,
no, we're trying to put all this unpleasantness behind us. Unpleasantness. 2 people are dead, man. 2 people are
listen,
dead.
I understand being offended at her accusing you of killing him or whatever, but I don't understand the offense when she's like, well, did you see anything unusual? Because that's not an accusation to you. That's just like, oh, did you, like, what did you see? And he's like, I take offense. And I'm like, that's weird.
Yep, it sure is.
Yeah. I just like these two are doing a really shit job at like seeming innocent. Because like my first thought obviously was like, oh, Tapain could have sabotaged the demonstration so it wouldn't work and then killed Rega so he couldn't try again. And Chris also has the same motives. It's the same thing. But like
whenever you say
he says that he finds Oh, because am I making it sound like T-Pain?
No. I was going to say, every time you say her name, all I can think of is Topanga.
Oh, Boy Meets World?
Yeah. You're not saying it that way. It just, like, my brain refuses to hear anything else.
I prefer the T-Pain joke. I think it's funnier.
Yeah.
Because I wrote her name so many times and my apostrophe is like not that high. So every time I look at it, I think T-Pain. But so it's been a lot of like effort to say Tapan.
Nice.
Yeah, so those two kind of suck. Oh, and he finds it disturbing that she would try to foster suspicions among them. She's not. She's just asking questions, man.
Yeah.
Calm down. Like, these two suck so much. And, oh yeah, Chris then is like, oh, this is gross and insulting. Dr. C's like, okay, but like anything else? And he's like, okay, but actually one thing.
Yeah.
He was in the storage room of the science lab yesterday, and Kurak was working in the lab, and Rega came in, and they got into an argument, but he could only hear when they started to shout at each other. And Kurak said that Rega had insulted her honor, and as a no Klingon would stand for that. And but like, of course, but Chris needs to make it clear. But she of course didn't kill him though. Like, she's like passionate and super pissed and angry, and super volatile. But like, don't worry, not a killer.
Yeah.
You know, making it sound totally cool, chill. It's fine. Thanks, Chris, asshole.
It doesn't even have to be a character assassination, because like, to Klingons within the Empire, like, killing someone is pretty trivial.
Yeah,
like, relative.
This is where I made
love
the note in my notes about racial profiling, because it's like, she's kind of just going by stereotypes now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love, though, I did get a little lulls that, like, Chris is like, oh yeah, like, Karak is, like, super angry and passionate and pissed and blah, blah, blah. But definitely not a killer. Same with us. We're not killers. Just, so you know, same with us. Same with us. Dr. C goes to see Karak in the science lab, and she is looking at one of Rhaega's shield configurations and thinks, there might be potential there. And so Dr. C questions her, and Karak warned Rhaega that if he persisted with his slander, he would pay the price. And Dr. C's like, okay, so, like, what was the slander? But Karak is agitated and is like, I won't even repeat his lies. But Dr. C is like, okay, but, like, were they lies? Mm-hmm. And Jesus Christ. But Karak is like, listen, bad shit happens when someone questions a Klingon honor. And Dr. C's like, yeah, but did Rhaega make that mistake? Yeah. And then Karak shoves Dr. C. I was shocked. Mm-hmm. She shoves Dr. C into the wall, and she falls to the ground. And it's like, wow, 0 to 1,000. So Karak says to Dr. C, she goes, she will have her, like, she goes, I will have your silence. And then Dr. C is like, oh, you're going to have to push me harder into a wall if you want my silence.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Dr. C. And so basically Rhaega accused Karak of sabotage. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. But Karak is like, yeah, I didn't fucking sabotage though. So then Dr. C walks out of the lab, and she goes, in her monologue, goes, I was beginning to find out that investigating a murder was a little more perilous than I thought. Yeah, Dr. C, Jesus Christ. And for everything I've been through, I didn't think I had any more insight than I did before I started. Yeah, Dr. C, like, listen, there's no reason for her again to be doing this. She should not be the one doing this. But listen, I'm on board. I'm here for the ride. Let's go.
Listen, should Sherlock
I'm riding
ever
shotgun
be
at this
investigating
point.
anything? Like,
no, listen, he's too high and needs to play his violin more.
Yeah.
Everyone has their hobbies.
No, I just mean it's like it's a like it's a
should
fairly
anybody
standard,
really be doing this?
Like TV thing for someone who should not be should not be doing this to be doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. But Dr. C is convinced that Rhaega's body holds the answers to the murder. And she does the autopsy.
Yeah.
Like, Dr. C?
Against the wishes of the family.
Yup. So she goes and tells Picard, and she found nothing. And he is not happy with her, which is like fair. But he's like, listen, I don't know how much I can really do for you at this point. Mm-hmm. But she's like, it's cool. Whatever's coming, I will take it because I knew what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And then she walks out, and her monologue, she goes, I could tell that he was terribly disappointed in me. And that was almost the hardest part of all. 2 people are dead.
Yeah.
But Picard's disappointment was almost the hardest part. I love it. I mean, fair. So Dr. C is now like, she's all like, this is her just recapping with Guinan. Mm-hmm. And Guinan's like, okay, so like, you think a murderer is on board? Go do something. And Dr. C's like fucking what? I've done fucking everything I can do. I was fired. And Guinan's like, yeah, can you get fired again? Yeah. Fucking go. Like, do something else.
What's
like,
there to lose? Are you just going to get more fired?
Yeah, like, let's go. And so Dr. C is back on the case after not being on the case for 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah, although Guinan seems to forget the possibility of, like, running into a murderer.
Yeah. Listen, Guinan, it's women supporting women, I guess. So, okay, Data is studying Rhaega's device, and in theory, the only time the shield really could have been sabotaged was when it was active. And, like, a phased ionic pulse could have been generated remotely, and that could have done something. I don't fucking know. Mm-hmm. But this could be done in Labs 1, 4, 16 on any bridge science station. Okay, so if someone did send out a phased ionic pulse to the shuttle, a tetron field would be formed briefly in the cabin. temporarily disrupting the metaphasic shield. It's possible that Joe Brill may have residual traces in his tissue. And I wrote, and I was so disappointed later, I'm like, I wish Troy was there to be the Watson to Dr. C's Holmes. But Dr. C has gone rogue on her own. She doesn't want a Watson. So then Riker comes up to Dr. C in the hall, and he's like, listen, Picard's gonna do fucking everything you can. This has all gotta be a formality, but, like, if you get up to more shit before the inquiry, that's not gonna look so great. And she's like, I don't know what you're referring to. But he's like, listen, as a friend, I think you fucking do. And then she's like, as a friend, understand I'm hot on the trail of a killer. I got stuff to do. So Dr. C goes to her office, but she's denied access to the medical files as she's no longer on duty.
Which
Nurse
I am
Alyssa
surprised Star Trek actually bothered to think of that.
Yeah, and very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, super quickly. So Nurse Alyssa comes in, and she's like, hey, computer, I want the autopsy files for both Rhaegar and Joe Brill, please. And listen, Alyssa is the real one here. She fucking comes through. She's the Watson. Not actually, but little bit.
Yeah.
Watson light, if you will, because she only just joins in here. But, like, I would have been on board if Alyssa, like, was in the whole thing. I mean, she wasn't earlier, but, like, anyways, I appreciate her. So Dr. C's like, I don't really want you to get involved in this. And then Alyssa's like, is that an order, doctor? And then Dr. C says, yes. And then Alyssa goes, too bad you're not my boss anymore. Alyssa, so good. So good. So Dr. C then scans for the tetron particles on Joe Brill's body. They find it. It's kind of circumstantial evidence, so not really going to get you far, but it's something. So then Troy enters the bridge and says that she is worried about Dr. C because Dr. C is avoiding her. And I was like, oh, that was an unfortunate direction. Okay, though, I guess. So then, gasp, Data says an unscheduled launch is taking place in Shuttle Bay 2. No one has filed a flight plan. That's the same shuttle that Rhaegar modified. And I wrote, is Dr. C in there? Of course she fucking is. Okay. So Dr. C has a theory that the shield does work. But Picard's like, come back. Worf, fucking bring that shuttle back. But nothing is happening. But Dr. C is heading right into the corona she's in, and success. It fucking works. But Dr. C's like, Picard, put security on the scientist's door because she's sure one of them did the murder. And I just wrote, if the reveal is that Alyssa did it, I'm going to scream. Thankfully, no. Alyssa is solid. Alyssa is, again, real one. Gasp. Oh my gosh. They lost the signal to Dr. C. What the fuck is happening? Side hatch opens on the shuttle and fucking Joe Brill comes out with a phaser. I did not see that coming. I'm gonna be honest. And so the slow rate of cellular decay is a natural result of physiostasis, which is something that Takarans can control. They can control their physiology at a cellular level. They can create the appearance of death. Like, why? Why would that ever be
because
why
the
would
plot
that ever
requires it.
That's so dumb. That's such a wildly specific skill to have, or ability. That's so dumb.
Here's the thing, is that you could make an argument that it's like, maybe it has some sort of evolutionary advantage in that, like, if they can play dead, they can avoid a lot of predators.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what things are like on the planet, but this is truly a wild ability to have.
Dude, maybe it's a planet of, like, big dinosaurs and shit.
They're Jurassic Parking it up there?
Yeah, I mean, okay, look at the way that he dresses. Maybe he's already trying to camouflage in the environment because that's the way that his species is used to living, because they're always running away from dinosaurs. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, listen, we don't know what's going on that planet. They could be Jurassic Parking it. They could be Lost World in it. We don't know. They could be Jurassic Worlding it.
Yeah.
We truly don't know.
I mean, there are people, like, there are humans and stuff who at least claim to be able to control their bodily functions, like, to that degree.
I mean, I can control my bodily functions.
Well, I mean,
for the general sense.
Yeah, I mean, like shit that you normally can't control. like they can slow down their heart to almost stop. They can
how does one decide they want to do this and learn this?
It's like it's a whole like mind over matter shit thing. I haven't looked into it too much, so I'm not sure how much of it is like actually real. Like, how much has been verified that people can actually do that, but
yeah, this did make me think of, though. There's an episode of, oh God, forgive me for saying this, CSI Miami, where
I mean, this episode is about on par with that in some ways.
Listen, this is still better than CSI Miami. I've only seen a handful of the episodes, but I do remember this one episode. It stood out to me, which is why I'm repeating the plot of it right now, where someone pretends to die because they have, like, blowfish poison, which apparently you can, like, eat blowfish. It's like a cuisine, but there's, like, some kind of... Sure. Okay.
Is that
like the proper name?
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a type of fish. I believe it is a type of blowfish where...
Yeah. Oh, no, I know this is real, but like in the plot of the episode...
Oh, I see.
Someone, they
poison him
made
via blowfish?
The bad guy gets poisoned on purpose, so it looks like he's dead, so he can avoid... So that's his alibi. It's like, oh, I was dead. Sorry. So I am aware that you can, because like that poison makes you look basically dead. Like your heart rate goes really slow, and there's like a bunch of other shit. But like, I know that that's a thing. But yeah. Well, okay. Well, back to this. This is wild. But also he's conscious this whole fucking time, so he's heard all of the developments, everything in Dr. C's case, and so he's going to send out a transient subspace signal that will obscure the shuttle from the Enterprise sensors, and they will interpret it as a Worf engine breach, and they will think that the shuttle's been destroyed. Joe Brill wanted to discredit Rega so that no one would pursue the technology except for him, so he can take the prototype back to Takara, where he will develop it into a weapon. Classic villain move.
Yeah.
He's literally like twiddling his mustache.
Yeah. He's also doing a villain monologue.
Yeah. He just has to wait until the Enterprise thinks she is dead and leaves. All right, bear with me. We're going margins, folks. All right, Dr. C, though, she gets the drop on him and types something into the computer. They start fighting. She elbows him and fucking kicks him down. It is a good kick. And then she nails him with the phaser, and there's a hole. She, like, blows a hole in the middle of him, but he's coming. Oh, Lord, he coming. And she shoots him again, and, like, he's gone. She, like, evaporates him. Yeah.
She vaporizes him.
Yep. He's gone. And so she turns around, makes it out of the corona. So Dr. C is back on the ship. She's been reinstated, and she goes to 10 Forward, and she brings Guinan like this super intense tennis racket. And then Guinan's like, Dr. C, I don't fucking play tennis. And then we were all like, oh. Guinan was not there for medical attention. She was there to help Dr. C in truly the most roundabout fucking way possible. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Guinan, that is kind of how she helps. She very rarely goes about it straightforward.
I'm just happy that Guinan wasn't really looking for medical attention when Dr. C was, like, not on duty. Here's my biggest problem with this episode. Dr. C still, like, basically desecrated a body.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, isn't that what the fucking inquiry was about?
They reinstate her for basically no reason. They reinstate her because she was right, not because she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
She was only right that it was a murder. She did not figure out who was the murderer. Yeah. And she also, like, killed him. So then, like, what happened when they got back? She was like, yeah, it was Joe Brill. They have, like, no proof on anything other than, his body would be gone from the Enterprise. But, like, well, listen, actually, that's not true. If the AV team fucking steps up for a second, they might have gotten, we know there is a camera in the shuttle because they do their Zoom chats. So I can only assume that the murder is, concluded.
Yeah,
Because there's footage from the AV team is submitted as evidence, but there's truly there's no reason why Dr. C should not still and listen, we know that I love Dr. C.
Yeah.
But there is no reason why this inquiry wouldn't have gone forward. She still basically desecrated a body.
Yeah, she
did the autopsy.
I still don't understand if Rhaegar was murdered or not.
Yeah, I also don't I think he was murdered, but also, how did frickin' Joe Brill do it? The phaser thing.
I guess he could have snuck out at any point.
He just got up? Where the fuck is the AV team then? Where the fucking AV team? They gotta figure out what they're monitoring and shit. Because here's the thing.
Yeah, does the morgue have no security?
Yeah, if Joe Brill got up, walked to the fucking science lab, and gave and put the phaser thing, the fuse or whatever, in Rhaegar's hand. Hello, AV team. How would you not have gotten that fucking footage? But also, how much time that seemed like all this happened pretty quickly, from when Dr. C last saw him to when he was dead. That all happened very quickly. How? When? Where was he getting a fucking plasma diffuser thing? How? And wouldn't have?
Yeah,
and
I
feel like there would be a lot more shit happening of oh my god,
yeah, and regardless
Joe Brill's
of
fucking
her,
there.
Yeah, exactly. And regardless of her being right, she still performed an autopsy against the family's wishes. That's still.
Yeah, she was only right that there was a murder.
Yeah.
That's it. She didn't figure out who it was or what fucking happened, just murder. Mm-hmm. I love that Dr. C virtually did not solve this case.
Yeah.
The person had to reveal themselves to her. They were like, Dr. C, you're doing a bad job. I'll just tell you I did this. I'm the murderer.
Yeah, basically.
It was here, okay, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy this episode because it was kind of silly. Agreed that it could have gone harder, but it also, there's so many holes in this. It doesn't lessen that I like it, but it does bother me that they were just well, Dr. C was right. He was murdered. Everyone is cleared of everything. And it's just wait, what?
At this point, TNG has not done a good murder mystery.
And this had potential. I thought they were maybe going to come through with something. I really sat through and watched this whole episode in one sitting. And I was psyched. I was I was only going to watch half. Mm-hmm. But then I was you know what? Let's fucking see how it ends. And I was surprised that it was Joe Brill. But also what the fuck?
Yeah.
So this episode was also cobbled together a little bit, much like the previous one was. But the thing is that they had the idea for quite a long time. And it just kept getting scrapped. And I mentioned earlier that it has gone through numerous iterations. One of the ideas that they had was that and this is what Joe Menosky liked about it the most when he had it assigned to him. There was an eco what do you call it, an eco disaster angle to it. Instead of the we're exploring the sun stuff, it was instead that that warp drive was going to be damaging space. Ooh. And they ended up dropping that angle entirely from the episode. And they're like, well, no, let's not do this. And that was the entire thing that Joe Menosky liked about it, which frustrated the hell out of him. And on top of that, because the episode had just gone through so many iterations, it had completely lost its original ideas, basically. Because the whole premise of it was noir murder mystery plus eco disaster messaging. And they didn't really have any of that left. They just had murder mystery. And the main character had changed. The entire premise of how the murder was happening had changed. And the episode wasn't even something that Michael Piller was prepared to greenlight until they finally decided, hey, what if we make the victim the murderer? Which came in extremely late. So that's this kind of disaster of an episode. I'm pretty sure it was originally pitched something like 2 seasons ago. And here we are.
I mean, there's lots of things about it that, like, I think had going for, like, I love a murder mystery. I'm psyched, like, Dr. C. I love when she kind of, like, does her own shit. But I feel like, honestly, I would have preferred my prediction story over this, not gonna lie. I think if I remember correctly, my prediction was, like, Dr. C, I think, was, like, set up for the murder, and that would have given more, you know, more of a motivation of why she has to solve it, other than, like, well, she's got to do it for this guy. Because even Picard's like, I think you're kind of are you doing it for this guy or yourself? And it's like, I feel like stakes would have been higher if she was, you know, accused. Instead, she just kind of like, I also was like she was on duty for a lot of this. So I was like, Dr. C, who the fuck be doctoring?
Yeah.
I guess Alyssa's doing fucking everything.
Yeah. To be honest, though, like, I think, like, if it's just, like, you know, motivated by guilt, like, I think that's really all you need. Like, I think that makes sense to me. Like,
I get to a point, but it didn't feel like the stakes were high for Dr. C.
No, they really weren't.
Like, there is truly, like, I do understand, like, guilt being a motivator, but to a point. It just kind of, I don't know, it
She didn't seem all that guilty.
It felt like she felt bad, like, initially, but then she just kind of, like, doing whatever the fuck she wants by the end of it.
Yeah.
And because also, and here's the thing, it got to a point where, like, I don't believe in the guilty feeling because she gave him an autopsy. Yeah. Like, that to me kind of went out the window when she gave him the autopsy. Because if she truly felt guilty, she'd want to respect him and his wishes and his family's wishes more than her own shit. And the fact that
she
she's
also
still
kept not finding the answer.
Yeah.
Like, every time it was like, okay, and finally I decided to, like, after all of this, shit going back and forth between me going, I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it. I finally decided to do it. And I found nothing.
Yeah.
That happened twice.
Yeah, Dr. C is not a great detective. And even when they did the reveal at the end with Joe Brill, and she's like, oh yeah, the low cellular degeneration or whatever. I was like, yeah, you and I fucking remember that. But, like, that's not like a, you know, to me, that's not even like a clue. It just felt very, like, left field.
Yeah.
Like, how are we supposed to, as an audience, put this together with Dr. C when she found no fucking evidence at every fucking turn? The suspects were, like, very, like, predictably, like, oh, we are not the killers, to the point where she literally was like, hey, by the end of it, and she was in the shuttle, she was like, hey, Picard, put security by all the scientists' doors. Because she still didn't fucking know.
Yeah, she still didn't.
And she was still assuming. Yeah, she assumed it was still, like, one of them, even though there's, like, they all had different motives, but she never settled on one. She just was like, all of them. Let's just, like, hedge my bets and just assume any of them. Like, Dr. C.
Yeah. So in isolation, I do like that they went with her not finding anything in the autopsy. Because I think, like, you know, most of the time it's like, you know, they end up justifying the character's behavior by, you know, them finding something.
Wait. Actually, before you continue that, quick question. Which autopsy? Because she doesn't find anything for either of them.
The Ferengi one. The one that matters.
I know. The point is that it happens twice, and that's frustrating.
Yeah. Anyway, they usually use that as a justification for, like, the character's behavior of, like, oh, they found something or whatever. But I did like the direction that it's like, oh, you took this huge risk and still didn't get anything. But
yeah, like,
I like that, like I said, in isolation, but combined with, like, the other shit they did in this episode, it's like, again, it just adds to, like, okay, well, she's, like, nothing she's doing is working, so why do we care, basically?
Yeah.
And it also, like, wasn't played up as big a deal as it should have been. The fact that she, like, you know, she did this extremely unethical thing and still didn't find anything. And I feel like that should have been a bigger deal than it was.
Especially
in the episode.
since it was just washed away at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's just a bummer.
Yeah.
But also, like, Dr. C was very chill with the fact she just killed a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obviously defense, and, like, that's not the argument. It
For
just,
sure,
like,
but...
even in self-defense, I'd be like,
Still
fuck, I just killed a fucking guy.
Yeah, still be disturbed and traumatized.
But she's like, you guys, I'm back. We're doing it. I did it. Now, Guinan, I fucking bought you a racket. I wonder how expensive that racket is. Oh, wait, they don't do money. Is this did they just...
It's okay.
Did they
Ship
just
stores will have
customize it? From, oh, yeah, she got it from the mall.
They should probably replicate
They got a sport check downstairs somewhere.
I like that we're still able to make references to something that was said in the very first fucking episode or something. No, sorry, it was said like 3 episodes in.
Listen, that mall will forever... I'm just going to assume forever that there is...
a mall on the ship.
Yeah, there's stores. There's shops.
Well,
listen,
you'll love DS9 because there literally are shops.
Listen, that's the fucking dream. I say that as if like I can't go to a mall or something now, but listen, I love it, and I will continue to, make
shout out
jokes
the mall.
about the mall. Yeah, listen, until I can't anymore. Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
I liked it, but at the same time, there's a lot of problems.
Yeah. I'm of the same way. It's like I enjoyed it, but yeah, there's a lot of issues.
This is an episode that I never go back to for many reasons. It just there really isn't anything there for me. There are better Crusher episodes, which is sad because like they were obviously trying to do something that they hadn't really succeeded at before, and they managed to possibly fail worse than they had before. I don't actually know if this is worse than the other murder mystery episodes. The only one I'm remembering is the one where Riker's on trial, and that one's kind of weird in its own way too.
The Rashomon one?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's horrible.
Yeah.
God.
But that one has, I think, a far more interesting premise going about it than this one does. In this one,
sure,
I just don't give a shit about any of these people. They're not interesting.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the way they casually kill the two of them off is just like, especially the Ferengi. Like, they were clearly making an interesting on-screen character there, and they kill him off in dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Oh, also, so what the fuck happens with this invention now? So, like, they proved it fucking works. So, like, what happens now?
It does actually get used in the future.
What's-his-face is fucking dead. Do they give him credit? I hope so.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Because this is, like, a pretty big deal in terms of inventions,
it is, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Has that actor played a Ferengi, like, in another episode? Because they seem familiar.
That particular actor? I think not, but let me double check.
Have they been in another Star Trek episode in general?
I believe so, yeah. Hold up, let me find the actor for 1 second. Pete. Oh man, he has a really unfortunate name. Peter Slutsker.
Oh no.
Oh God, this poor man. Yeah, actually, he's played a Ferengi once before in an extremely awful episode. Menage a Troy.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, because I knew I recognized him.
And he plays a Ferengi again in a Oh no, it's another TNG episode. Shit. Interesting.
Is it after this episode?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay. You don't have to say the name.
No, it's in the next season.
I knew I recognized him, and I knew I recognized him as a Ferengi.
Interestingly enough, both the other times that he plays a Ferengi, he's nothing like this one. So I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah.
That said, he shows up in Voyager once.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and I didn't recognize him there either. Maggie, do you remember Year of Hell?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a dude that they come across several times who's supposed to be one of, like, that species, the species that's doing all the time shit. He's supposed to be an example of like where they are technologically. So the first time that they come across him, he threatens them to leave their space, but he's in some like piddly little starship that can't do anything to Voyager, and he like fires lasers at them or something, and they're like, well, that doesn't do anything, so womp womp.
Is
and
that
then
all
the
that
time...
Enterprise J shit?
No. This is A Year of Hell is the one where, fucking, there's this species that's continually changing the timeline over the course of 2 episodes.
Oh, right, yeah.
And at the end of it, Voyager has to like ram the ship to fix the timeline, and everything's erased and nothing happened. But anyway,
and it's like we have a alternate universe Harry Kim.
There's an alternate universe. Everyone.
No. But the alternate universe Harry Kim is the one that survives.
I think that's a different episode. Actually, I could be wrong.
Oh,
though.
Could be. Yeah.
Anyway, so there's this guy who keeps showing up in every time the timeline is changed as just an example of how much it's changed, because he's supposed to be part of this species that's doing the changing.
I see.
And like the first time you see him, he's in some weak ass little ship, and he's like, "I'll get you," and they're just like, "All right, sure, whatever." And the next time you see him, he's in some massive fucking battle cruiser, and he's like twiddling his thumbs, and he's like, "Yeah, that's right, I'm here to wipe you out. Fuck off." And like it's interesting because like clearly he's a decent actor. I wish he had come up as more than a Ferengi and that dude. Anyway, that's my story.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He changed his name around the year 2000 because he didn't like being known as Slutsker.
What did he change it to?
Marx.
Okay. All right. I think it's fair to move on to favorite moments and lines now.
Yes. Okay. Alyssa, MVP. Just great. Good for her. On board. Big fan. Super proud. She did it. I think I like the idea of Dr. C being a detective. I do like that she was like, it's murder, you guys. It's fucking murder.
And it's
A
most
murder
foul.
most foul.
Yeah.
Jinx.
And I like that Worf, when he's like, oh, maybe he was just so bummed about his failure that he like took his own life, and Dr. C's like, maybe that's what they want us to think. I did like that. I like Dr. Rhaegar.
I was gonna say,
and I'm bummed that he's not gonna get the credit he deserves, because he was a nice guy, and it sucks. And okay, and I did like the line when after Dr. C gets like basically attacked by Kurek, and she's monologuing, and she's like, I was beginning to find out that investigating a murder was a little more perilous than I thought. Yeah, Dr. C. Oh my goodness. Oh, and then when she, her biggest, like the hardest part of this whole experience was that Picard was disappointed in her. That was so funny.
What's the line? It's like Kim, people are dying, or so like.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
When she loses the like diamond earring. Yeah, Kim, people are dying. Yeah. And I like when Dr. C, when Alyssa is like showing up and she's like giving her the files, and then Dr. C's like, I don't want you to get involved in this. And Alyssa's like, is that an order, doctor? And Dr. C's like, yes. And then she's like, too bad you're not my boss anymore. Ooh, burn. And I think that's basically it.
Yeah, so my favorite is I'm not sure if you said this, but when after Dr. C gets pushed into the wall and she comes back all badass being like, you'll have to push me a lot harder if you want my silence, like, or whatever.
Yeah, that was a good part.
Yeah. That was firmly my favorite moment.
I also really like Dr. Rhaegar, honestly. Like, it's refreshing after... Because I also haven't, like, sat down and watched through DS9 in a while, but it's refreshing after this much TNG finally seeing the DS9 Ferengi, because I know we'll see the Ferengi again in TNG, and I'm pretty sure they're the TNG Ferengi again, but I could be wrong. Who knows? I don't remember. I know that we'll never see an energy whip again, except for in one jokey little reference many years down the road. But... for now, it's great that we get to see that. I wish that the fucking villain had not been some mustache-twirling piece of shit. But, that's how it goes.
Yeah, or they leaned more into mustache twirling.
Yeah, either, like, play the whole thing straight, or don't play it straight at
Yeah.
all. But you can't go halfsies on it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so time for predictions for the next episode. So the next episode is a Worf episode.
Ooh.
Yes, and it is called Rightful Heir.
Oh boy.
And the best way I can describe it is Worf goes searching for the Messiah.
What? What the fuck does that mean?
Worf goes looking for Klingon Jesus.
Literally that.
Klingon Jesus?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know. Okay, I know nothing about like Klingon religion, so
when you hear it, I think you'll recognize the name, but it's not important that you know.
I'm not sure. Have they mentioned it at this point?
I think he may have.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. For the purposes of predictions, you don't need to know the name.
Klingon Jesus.
Yeah. So, do you...
boy.
Okay, I guess to give you somewhere to go, do you think he finds, like, an actual guy? Or do you think, no, he doesn't find anybody?
Great question.
Yeah.
I'm torn because I could totally see it going both ways. That like either he finds a guy, but he's not the like holy, he's just a guy and he doesn't have magical powers. I'm just assuming because it's Jesus, it's Klingon Jesus that they think he has powers. I don't know. Or it's literally, it's like an idea.
Maybe the Jesus was the one who believed in ourselves
Was
all
the
along.
friends we made along the way.
The Klingon Jesus is the friends we made along the way. Yeah. God, I hate Worf going on another fucking mission that's useless. Maybe it's a guy. It's a real guy, but it's a reputation that has preceded him. And God, but like I don't know what it like means to the Klingons.
He's
like, what the
very
context
important
of,
to
like,
the
what
Klingons.
Yeah.
But like what does he do? Like what does like the what does he symbolize?
Okay,
Like,
wait.
what is
Maggie,
like,
I think it's
Okay,
okay
so
to give her a
more-
clue about who he was.
Yeah, so it's a K-less, if you remember.
I have no
the
recollection
name.
of that
Okay,
name.
well, anyway,
No.
Kalis, he's like a legendary figure, and like basically it's like if he returns, he brings balance to the Force. Like,
Yeah, essentially he is seen
Okay.
as having united the Klingon people and having fought off their enemies for them.
yeah,
I was just thinking, I feel like it's got to be some kind of warrior of some kind because
Yeah.
they love their fighting. Okay, so that gives me a little bit more to go on. Maybe there's some Klingon tension and oh god, what's his name? Galron is being a fucking dick and they need to like I don't want to say scare him straight, but like get him to like fucking calm the fuck down. And they're like, what if we find Klingon Jesus to like
to calm his
everybody
shit.
the fuck down?
Yeah.
But Worf doesn't seem like Worf to me doesn't seem like someone who would be religious, but Worf loves to like lean into the Klingon stuff. So I feel like Worf would like enjoy the stories, but not super believe this is like an all-powerful person. Maybe just like a guy with a good reputation.
Yeah. He's like, everyone thinks he's Jesus, but the dude's actually like, no, I'm just a guy.
He's just Josh.
Yeah, I'm just Josh.
Yeah, I feel like that's okay. Gowron needs to be fucking put in a seat. I almost said down. He does not need to be put down. That's not where I'm going. I think Gowron needs like a reality check,
Yeah.
and they're like, who's gonna do? And so because of him needing a reality check, like maybe there's like infighting and like there's some stress.
What else is
and,
new in the Klingon
you know,
Empire, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just like some tension, and they're like, guys, we need to go back to our roots. Klingon Jesus style, I guess.
Yep.
And yeah, so is that enough? Does that make sense?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so if you want to see if Dory's correct, watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.